My name is Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. To support this YouTube channel, go to my Patreon link below, subscribe to this channel, check out my latest book, Debunking the Russia myth. It is below. The link is below. Tell your friends about the book on social media. If you have a Kindle or if you have a computer, it'll be on other formats, but it's currently on Kindle ebook. It's only $3.99. Check it out. It completely destroys the ridiculous Russian hacking narrative. It isn't even based on a crime. There's no evidence of a crime, and there's no evidence of Russia hacking the DNC. If anything, it was a leak, not a hack. The intelligence reports come with warranty disclaimers. We can go on forever. The DNC never gave its computer servers to the FBI. CrowdStrike had to backtrack key claims. Paul Manafort is not a Russian hacker. Neither is Rick Gates or Papadopoulos. We can go on forever. Check out the book. It is below. Tell your friends about it. Gift the book to somebody who believes the nonsense and who's willing to accept facts and reality. This is very interesting. So President Trump basically saved several UCLA basketball players from prison sentences in China because they tried to steal Louis Vuitton sunglasses. And according to the Washington Post, Chinese prosecutors have a 99.9% conviction rate. Just as discouraging, according to the Handbook of Chinese Criminology, is that almost all convicted defendants receive prison sentences. So if you're not a UCLA basketball player and Trump isn't visiting China, you are definitely doing jail time or prison time in China. You have a 0.1% chance of not getting convicted. They're basically 100% chance. They're just going to convict you. This is interesting. This is actually on Sports Illustrated. Before I get to Trump's tweet and CNN's ridiculous response, I mean, you can't do anything right, according to CNN. This is Sports Illustrated.
The severity of potential punishments for stealing depend on the value of the goods that are taken. And here, if he in fact is guilty, he stole from a Louis Vuitton store, which, as we know, features high-value items. So that's bad news for him, because that could mean a potential punishment as long as 10 years of prison. But that's, of course, the outlier. And I mention that number with a great deal of hesitation, because he's not going to get 10 years in prison. And in fact, he might not get any prison time. There's a great deal of discretion for the government in China. And given the optics of this, given my instinct is that China probably doesn't want to turn this into, sending him to prison for some length of time. But it is potentially serious if in fact he's guilty.
All right, so we don't know how long he would have stayed in prison, or if he would have been in prison, but it could have been an international incident. We don't really know. The really hilarious thing is that what Donald Trump's UCLA tweet reveals about him. So it's like Chris Cillizza is like, it's unbelievable. Think about this. You've just spent nearly 2 weeks halfway around the world. You've spent most of the last 24 hours on a plane. Your body clock is somewhere between 12 and 14 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time. You are 71 years old. What's one of the first things you do after you likely sleep a bit on your first day back at your desk for work? This is insane. Like, everyone's now the president. And if you don't tweet a certain way, oh my God, you're just an insane person who must be impeached. But if you're President Donald Trump, you send out this tweet. Do you think the 3 UCLA basketball players will say thank you, President Trump? They were headed for 10 years in jail. So they might not have been. It might not have been 10 years. It could have been 2, 3, 4 months. It could have been a year. Who knows? But he helped them evade political and consequences and jail time. Let's leave aside Trump referring to himself in the third person and tweet, oh my God, how horrible. That deserves a post all its own. No, it really doesn't, Cillizza. And focus on the psychology behind this tweet at this moment. Trump is someone who likes to be praised, whereas Chris Cillizza never likes to be praised. He likes to be adulated at all times. It's unbelievable. Obviously, he tweets things to get a reaction from Cillizza. But you can't, even saving UCLA basketball players, even saving them from potential jail time, potential prison time in China, that doesn't even warrant, hey, that's a good thing he did. It's, oh my God, did you see what he tweeted about? And then it's case in point. And then Trump told the media that he spoke directly to Chinese President Xi Jinping about the case. The 3 players were released on Tuesday. So it's just unbelievable. And then there's a racial element. This is insane. The image of an older white man in a position of power demanding thanks from 3 young black men for saving them will set off a lot of alarm bells for people. What kind of moron are you, Chris Cillizza? This has nothing to do with some kind of image of race or whatever. 3 students stole Louis Vuitton sunglasses in China. Or they were alleged to have, they were accused of stealing. That's it. College players do crazy things sometimes. We were all in college. We all did either crazy things or stupid things or whatever. Except they did it in China. And they're basketball players. And everybody knows who they are. And they could have served jail time. This has nothing to do with the image of an older white man in a position of power. It's not an older white man in a position of power. He's the president. He happens to be white. The image of an older white man in a position of power demanding thanks from 3 young black men for saving them will set off a lot of alarm bells for people. That's one way to look at it. Insane social justice, identity politics, former Washington Post person. And understandably so, given Trump's previous actions in the wake of the white supremacist violence in Charlottesville. What actions did he do in Charlottesville? It was Terry McAuliffe who told the police to stand down. Democrat Terry McAuliffe who wanted the police to stand down for the photo ops, which led to 1 woman being killed. And the same Nazis, quote-unquote neo-Nazis in Charlottesville, existed and marched when Obama was president, as did the Klan, as did all racists. They existed under Obama also. You'd think that Chris Cillizza wrote about it. No. In the ongoing NFL anthem protests, yeah, I defended Colin Kaepernick, like, right when it took place. Whereas everyone else now is talking about Colin Kaepernick because of Trump. It's just, these people are... Part of being president is trying to get U.S. citizens out of dicey situations in foreign countries. Not really. That's not actually part of how many dicey situations have people gotten into. And President Obama or President Bush, whatever. You can go on forever regarding that. That's not part of being president. That doesn't mean that Trump's personal appeal to Xi didn't have any effect. Okay, Cillizza is out of his mind. It's like everything is twisted and turned into this... It's all about optics for people like Chris Cillizza or the Washington Post or CNN. If black poverty actually increases under President Obama, nobody talks about it. That's not white supremacy. Black poverty increased by 1 to 2%, depending on the NBC says 2%. Another site said 1% at the end of Obama's tenure. That's not white supremacy. That just happened. That's Bush's fault. That's shrug shoulders. That's not white supremacy, white national. That's not. It's not a euphemism. It just is. Michael Brown, John Crawford, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, Flint, Standing Rock, all under President Obama. Not white supremacy. Not white supremacy. No, 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 no. That's just America. Everything that goes on, a Charlottesville protest, oh, that's Trump's fault. They're completely out of their minds, which is why Trump will win again, because the majority of the country knows the media is full of crap, and they're trying to backpedal and backtrack and justify their monumental loss. They were saying that Clinton was going to win. They pushed for her endlessly. Didn't happen. Now they're blaming Russia without any evidence at all. George Papadopoulos and Paul Manafort aren't Russian hackers. And then they're saying, and now they're moving the goalposts even further out. And they're saying, oh, well, it's the overall impact on the election. You mean like the Trump audio? You mean like the Comey letter? A lot of things impacted the election, and most people saw the Facebook ads after the election. Give me your thoughts below. Trump can't even get UCLA basketball players out of jail without CNN condemning him. And I voted for Jill Stein and Bernie Sanders. It's not about policy. It's about a blatant media coup, or attempted media coup of a president that was elected. The country elected Trump, whether you want to believe it or not. And you have to defeat him. The Democratic Party is completely fractured. They won't be able to defeat Trump in 2020. and they'll probably get slaughtered politically in 2018. Give me your thoughts below. And by the way, they're so happy about Virginia and New Jersey. New Jersey was a Goldman Sachs guy who won, and Virginia, a guy who said he voted for Bush twice, George W. Bush twice. That's not the type of person in 2020 or 2018 that's going to go ahead and they won the governorships, but it's not the type of person in Congress who's going to just get out the vote and get people motivated to go out and vote Democrat. Give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. Subscribe to this channel and check out my latest book, Debunking the Trump Russia.